What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more AFK Journey, and Harak is just absolutely amazing. He is tearing it up in quite a few different Dream Realm locations. We'll have to see in the coming week if he's going to be part of any Dream Realm bosses, not Dream Realm, battle drills as well. He's already part of a lot of Dream Realm bosses, and this squad right here just continues to be like the absolute best that we have seen. Very solid. A couple changes to our previous setup. So typically in the past week or so, this has been the lineup most people have been running. The lineup is still the same, however, positioning of a couple heroes changes a little bit, and it's really weird how just some positioning changes makes a little bit better of a difference. We're gonna mainly have the main body Fresto in front of our Harak here, and we're gonna be moving Lily May and Mikola down over into the corner here. That's going to be the biggest change here. We're continuing to use Resonating Spell on Harak so he gets tons of ultimates. And just be warned, there is a little bit of RNG for the end of battle. Typically, Fresto is the last hero that is consumed. Sometimes you can get it so his illusion is consumed first, whereas other times you're going to have the main body get consumed. That means both Fresto versions are taken out at the same time, whereas if the illusion is taken out, it gets you a little bit better of damage here. So you guys will see how this battle progresses very easily here. Mikola providing that really good attack buff and the haste buff, whereas, you know, Smokey is also providing another 25% attack buff. Can't wait to see in a couple days if Sonja is actually going to make her way into teams like this. You can see right here, Smokey and Mirky does get taken out first, and we can consume that. It's kind of a negative that he goes down so quickly, but when it comes to bosses, it kind of is what it is. Mikola should be the next one to get consumed here, I believe, although did one of the Fresto illusions actually get consumed? Yes. It looks like the illusion was consumed, which is kind of good, I guess. Although, really close. This damage was much worse than our previous hit right here. And that's why sometimes positioning matters, whereas other times just going with some RNG, like just multiple hits over and over again, can really make a huge difference. So we'll do a couple hits here with this setup. Supposedly a lot of people in the extreme endgame are getting better hits with this, but personally for me, going with the older strategy does work. So again, try both of these setups. You can try the new positioning here. Sometimes it works good. We'll just go through and get a couple hits in here so you guys can actually see what the damages look like. Up to 70 billion. Again, not quite as good as the previous setup we were running, which I think I already had it up here, right? I think our team should be up here somewhere, unless I didn't. Oh, I didn't share it. It's essentially the same setup as these right here, where you're putting the Mikola and the Lily May a little bit further over. You're also getting damage reduction on the Lily May. Not that it matters, but I've personally seen a better result with this setup, even though the other setup is traditionally better. You see right there, up to 77 billion immediately. We will share that so it stays on our list. And again, it just comes down to a little bit of RNG with how that works out. Now, that's if you do have Harak. If you don't have Harak, then we have to talk about something a little bit different here, because not everybody has him. He's a purely spender type of hero right now. So let's talk about what you guys can do as a free-to-play to try to get the best score possible. So if you are someone who doesn't have Harak, the other hero you should have by now with all your building of heroes should be Shakir. Now, getting Shakir behind the energy main body Fresto is typically the best strategy, because that'll get him to his ultimate faster, which also means he has that lupine aura going out much quicker. So literally a 1-to-1 swap. You're taking out Harak for the pay to win version, and you're going to Shakir. Of course, getting the right set bonuses helps a lot too, but I'll show you guys what this battle looks like here, because again, this is a very good damage setup, and it's honestly not too far behind the Harak setup, which is nice to see. At least from my previous attempts, it's been a little bit better. The one thing that this team does get is a little bit more uptime, or actually a lot of it more uptime on the Smokey and Mirky, just because they're not getting consumed by Harak, which is kind of crazy how that works. The fact that Harak eats other heroes and still does a crazy amount of damage. Already up to 60 billion, but again, you really slow down on these later waves of the bat summons. You burn like 10 seconds just trying to kill them off, so that's really where you lose that uptime right there. But we're already at the 60 billion. If we get to 70, that's still very close. Nah, it's gonna be lower. It's gonna be like close to 65, maybe not even. It just really comes down to Yep, we weren't able to kill off those bats, so that's one thing that does happen with this type of squad. But again, if you take a look, Shakir does some actually pretty decent damage here, and if we do run this back a few different times, we might see some better numbers. And the fact that they added a skip in Dream Realm now, holy cow, is this such a nice quality of life. Not having to watch the battles and instead just trying to see if you get a better number there. That one was very close. It looks like 62, 63 is the cap on this. Granted, I will say with the Harak team, I've seen the biggest whales out there getting close to 100 billion now, which is just absolutely nuts. But yeah, you can see right here, this team is kind of capping out at 63. We'll do one more attempt right here just to see if the damage changes a little bit. Doesn't change too much. Now, one thing you can try, and other people have been talking about that has been a pretty solid change, is instead of using Resonating Spell, going with a Great Sword spell, because we do have some physical damage coming in here, and that could be a bonus. The Shakir damage could be going up. Personally, I want to try a couple other artifacts in this setup, not just go crazy on the resonating, because again, we have a couple magic damage dealers going on here, because I'm pretty sure, right, Fresto is magic damage. We have Lily May, who's magic damage. Really, it just comes down to the Shakir. So let's see if this does play a bigger role. Granted, this sword might actually do additional damage and strike pretty hard. The nice bonus of this is this has like one of the higher attack bonuses in Great Sword, which is really nice to see. So maybe just the flat attack could be a huge benefit here. You can see we're coming up to that 60-ish billion mark again, and we're going to get that last wave of bats. It's kind of nice to know you can be very flexible on what artifacts you're using. Yeah, see, in this situation, resonating did end up being better for us. So again, it really comes down to your team. It really comes down to what artifacts you've invested into, because again, it's not super powerful or a huge difference here. We're gonna buy some extra attempts to give you guys a couple more examples. Another one that could be good is Arcane Spell. Like I said, we do have a lot of magic damage going on here, and it could potentially be the difference of extra bonus damage, especially when dealing with those summoning waves. That is, again, pretty close to the same damage number here. We're going to do one hit with almost every one of these other ones to see what they're like. Tide Call might be good because, again, that is going to give us bonus damage on the boss potentially, or an AoE damage against the summons, which can be pretty solid. See right there, again, very close to the same thing. So there's not really a one answer fixes it all. They're all within like 1 billion or so of each other. Verdant Spell might be a good one too. This one can sometimes come out of nowhere and be a very strong artifact. In this situation, it might be actually pretty good. Again, pretty much the same exact damage. There's one more I want to try, and it is the newest item here. This is the one where we want to make sure we're on the enemy side of the battlefield, because that is going to increase their damage. Luckily, even Lily May typically ends up on that far side here. So you can see that little ridge over there. She does stay behind it though, actually. So that's not a huge help, because she needs to be on that far side, I think, to get the damage buff, I think. And again, that was a little bit better. That actually was a little bit better. So going for the newest artifact seems like it could be the way. So there's lots of different options for you guys to use. Again, I'm the huge fan right now of Frontline Spell. I think this is like one of the best artifacts out there right now for so many different game modes. Simply giving that bonus attack, 26% additional damage straight up, and 20% damage reduction just seems really good. Plus the shield gives a lot of utility. So let me know what you guys think. Those are the different teams you want to use here today, whether you're pay to win, free to play, whatever. And I'll see you guys next time.